All right, welcome in everyone for our deep dive today. We're going to be looking at journal prompts for the first day of school.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, specifically like 50 of them.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, they came from a blog post by Lestallion.
Oh, those are the journal people.
Exactly, the journal folks, yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously we can't go through all 50,
Right?
but we're going to highlight some of the most interesting ones. And with your help,
Yeah.
we'll kind of dig a little deeper into like the psychology behind them.
Because it's not just about writing down what I did today.
Yeah, exactly. So like the first category is excitement and anticipation.
Okay.
And there's the classic one, like, what are you most excited about for the first day of school?
Mm.
Like, straightforward, but then they get a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Like, describe your first thoughts when you woke up on the first day of school.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, before you even have your coffee.
Yeah, before the day even starts. Yeah, that's really getting into the nitty-gritty there.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's like those underlying anxieties or hopes or whatever.
Yeah, and it gives you, whether you're the student or you're somebody supporting a student,
Mm-hmm.
it gives you some insight into, like, what is the emotional landscape they're starting from.
Yeah. And then you have, if you could make one wish for the first day of school, what would it be?
Ooh.
That one's kind of fun, but it's also like,
It is fun, but it's like, what are your priorities, right? Like, what do you actually want out of this year? Is it about friends? Is it about grades? Is it about just, like, feeling less stressed?
That's such a good point, because it's not usually about the surface level stuff.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so moving on, the new beginning section, there's this one. What do you hope your first day of school outfit says about you?
Oh, fashion.
I know. So it's like, especially with teenagers,
Especially, yeah.
clothing is such a form of expression.
Oh, huge. And, like, the first day, everybody's looking at each other, trying to figure out where they fit in.
Yeah.
So this is really prompting them to think about, like, how do I want to present myself to the world?
And like, that can be a really big confidence booster.
It can, for sure.
All right, so let's jump to friendships.
Okay.
This one really stood out to me. What is one way you can make someone else's first day of school better?
I love that.
I know, it's not just about being nice.
Yeah.
It's like taking action.
Yeah. It's encouraging empathy, but, like, putting it into practice.
Yes.
And it also kind of takes the focus off of yourself and puts it on, like, how can we make this a welcoming environment for everybody?
Yes, I love that. Okay, on to learning and growth.
Okay.
This one was interesting. What's one skill you'd like to develop by the end of the school year?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like goal setting from day one.
Yeah. But the cool thing is skill can mean so many things. It
Yeah.
could be like, I want to get an A in algebra, but it could also be like, I want to learn to play guitar, or
Yeah.
I want to, be able to code, or I
Exactly.
want to learn how to, like, do public speaking better.
So it's not just about like the classroom learning.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
expanding it out, which is super important.
Yeah. All right, so last section, overcoming challenges.
Oh,
I know, right?
yeah.
And this one, like, really stood out. How do you plan to handle moments of failure or disappointment this year?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because let's face it, like, they're gonna happen.
They are going to happen.
So it's like thinking about that from day one.
Yeah, it's like, how are you going to cope?
Yeah.
It's like having that little toolkit in your back pocket.
Right.
Like, okay, if this happens, who am I going to talk to? How am I going to reframe this? What am I going to do to, like, take care of myself?
So instead of being reactive, you're being proactive about it.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's not just for kids either, host speaker. What do you mean? I mean, like, these themes, they apply no matter what age you are host speaker.
Oh, interesting. Like, self-awareness, resilience, building healthy coping mechanisms. That's stuff we all need.
Right. It's not just for school. Exactly. And they could even be adapted, depending on the age.
Oh, so like the same basic prompts.
Yeah. But, the language might be a little different for a kindergartner versus a high school senior, obviously.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the core ideas are still there.
It's like they grew with the student.
Exactly. And they can also be like conversation starters.
Oh, between like parents and kids?
Yeah. Or even teachers and students.
Instead of just like, how was school?
Right. It's a way to, like, really connect on a deeper level.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It's like opening a window into their inner world,
Yeah, I do.
And you can build trust and understanding that way.
That's huge, especially on the first day of school.
Exactly. Teachers could even use some of these as icebreakers.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. Or even like, writing prompts throughout the year.
Oh, that's so much better than what I did on my summer vacation.
Way better.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the positives, but are there any, like, potential downsides to using these prompts?
Well, you got to remember that journaling can be kind of a personal thing. It can make people feel vulnerable.
Right.
So it's really important to make sure it feels like a safe space.
So no judgment, no grading.
Exactly. It shouldn't feel like homework.
Right.
It's got to be a place where they can really express themselves, honestly.
Yeah, makes sense.
And, not every kid loves to write.
Oh, yeah.
So for some of them, maybe journaling isn't the best fit. So, maybe they could draw or paint or even, dance.
So it's about finding what works for them.
Exactly.
Okay, so it sounds like the key takeaways here are, like,
Yeah.
personalization, flexibility, and creating a supportive environment.
Exactly. And what's really cool?
What?
These prompts, they can be used for other new beginnings too, not just the first day of school.
Oh, so you're thinking, like, starting a new job?
Yeah, or moving to a new city or even just like...
Oh. Or, like, committing to a new workout plan or something.
Exactly. Anytime you're stepping outside your comfort zone.
Because it's still all about that, like, self-awareness.
Yeah, and setting goals and being prepared for those bumps in the road.
So it's like taking those core themes
Like tweaking the prompts.
yeah, to fit the situation.
Exactly.
Huh. That's actually, like, really useful.
Right.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about how I could use some of these for, like, my next big project at work.
There you go. See?
It's like a mental checklist.
It is. And the best part is you're creating it for yourself.
Right. Not like someone's giving it to me and saying, do this.
Exactly. It's way more powerful that way.
Okay, so as we wrap up here,
Yeah.
what's, like, one piece of advice you'd give someone who's maybe feeling a little apprehensive about that first day?
That's a good one.
Whatever it may be, first day of school, first day at a new job.
I think I'd say embrace the uncertainty.
Oh, that's good.
Because, new beginnings, they're full of unknowns, but that's also where the excitement is.
That's true.
So go in with curiosity, be willing to learn.
And, like, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Exactly. And remember, everyone feels those first day jitters.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're not alone.
I love it. It's such a good reminder that, like, we're all in this together.
We are.
Navigating those new starts and figuring things out as we go.
And sometimes the best way to do that is with a little bit of self-reflection.
That's so true.
Maybe even with one of those Lestallion journals.
They might come in handy. All right, well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive, but we want to leave you with this: what first day is on your horizon?
Ooh, good question.
And how can these journal prompts, maybe even tweaked a bit, help you, step into it with more intention and self-awareness? Until next time, keep exploring and keep diving deep.